All right. Welcome back. Here we are with a trading recap video again for June 16th, 2024. And today I'm finishing up $574. This is by far the biggest day I've had uh, by like 160 bucks. Yes, Tuesday I had a day that was $413 and I completely blew that out of the water. But I traded a lot. I had 323 orders and traded 7 different stocks, red on a couple of them, but green on 4 of them, with 2 of them being massively green, or one medium sized green and one massively green on one stock. And I'll go through those in a second, but I just want to kind of express just the gratitude and just the fulfillment that I am feeling from just putting in so much work for 2 years, putting my head down and grinding, going through so much crap to get to this point to where I'm consistently profitable and sizing up, because so many traders go through trying to become a successful trader and they give up because they can't develop a strategy. They can't get consistent. They can't get over, they can't put their ego aside and trade with 5 shares just to learn how to trade. They're all fixated on trying to make money now, but it just does not happen within a couple of months, a couple of weeks, even maybe 1 year or 2 years. It took me 2 years to get to this point of being consistently profitable and now sizing up. And I'm going to show you that last year, I'm going to go through 2021, last year in June, I was trading. So a year ago from today, so that'd be June 10th. So let's go down to June 10th, 2021. A year ago from today, I made $2.91 and I was trading with 5 shares, 2 shares, 10, not even 10 shares. This was 2 5-share orders. So I was trading 5 shares at a time. So I was literally risking $40 a trade at most, and that's if the stock would go to zero. And clearly, obviously that's never happened, in a day trade. And if that did happen to you, I'm sorry, because that's super rare. Maybe you should hang it up on a wall, because I don't know. That's pretty awesome if you can buy a stock and it immediately goes to zero. If that happens, you were like cursed from the market. It just immediately buy a stock, immediately goes to zero. But anyways, a year ago from today, I was trading with 5 shares. And in this moment, probably last year, I would have never thought that in 365 days, I would have made $574 today. Not a chance. I didn't think that I could progress that fast. I thought this was going to be another 5 years of this, and I was willing to do it for 5 more years. I didn't care because this is what I want to do, and I accepted that early on my trading career. I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. I'm committed 100%, and I formulated my life around my commitment to this. Working around my schedule that I wanted to trade, the window I wanted to trade in. So I worked outside the hours of trading to pay bills, and I just did this for 2 years, trading 5 shares at a time. I didn't care about the money. I didn't want the money right now. I knew, I had to make that investment up front. And that's what people don't want to do when they get into trading. You have to just show up every day just to develop your strategy, trade 1 share, trade 5 shares, trade 10 shares. But, majority of people aren't going to do that. And the only people that are going to do that are the people who are 100% committed to trading. And I just wanted to express just my gratitude that, I'm here right now, still swinging hard, still going at it to, make this, a reality, make the trading lifestyle a reality. And, it's just starting to bloom. And it's just such a beautiful thing. And so there's not many traders that get to this point. A lot of them, quit early in the process, and they don't push hard enough to get to just even the sizing up part and just, having a strategy, but then just sizing up. The sizing up part is so much easier than strategy development. And it's unfortunate that not a lot of traders get to this point, but the people who do, they know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like the most fulfilling thing that you could probably experience, putting in work every day for years and finally, starting to see, the seeds start to sprout out of the ground and grow. And just after watering it every day. And so I just wanted to kind of express that to you guys. I know some of you guys watching are experienced traders who, probably made 5,000 instead of 500 or 2,000 or 10,000. And, $574 is nothing to you, but it's all, relative. I've noticed that, as I've been sizing up, my perspective on money is changing a lot. Previously, I thought like $100 loss was like a massive loss that I would never make back. And now it's like, $100 loss is like, a small, very small loss that I can make back in one trade. And even you can see here on my cumulative P&L, I had a $700 red day or a week of that I lost $700, and it took me 6 months to make that back. And I just had such a big loss relative, to the size that I was trading that took 6 months to get back. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, but hopefully that scale, is obviously going to be bigger than I'm trading big share size. Maybe, instead of 700, it's, 3,000. But what I'm just trying to say is like, it's all relative. Even if you're just trying to make $50 a day, making $100 a day when you're just shooting for 50, you're going to still experience that fulfillment that somebody would get who's still trading like bigger share size and have, a $5,000 day when they're trying to get, their daily goal is like 3,000. And so it's all relative. As you're sizing up, that scale is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And part of, growing your share size is going to be getting used to the bigger losses and then pushing yourself a little bit harder when you are, on a roll. You want to push a little bit harder with your share size. And some days are going to be like today. Like if you're really feeling it today, I felt that I was like, I was holding pocket aces in Texas Hold'em. And I was like, you know what? Today's the day that I got to trade a little bit longer and push a little bit harder. And it worked out. I was ready to walk away at 400, 350 on the day, 400. But the opportunities kept going and I didn't walk away. I saw the next opportunity and I was ready to pounce on it. And so that's how I was able to walk away at $574 in profit, which is more than 2 times my daily goal. My daily goal is $250, according to my share size. That'll be around 10% of a $2,500 position size. But I kept pushing it, and I was able to walk away with about 20% of my average position size. So let's go into this real quick. I don't want to take forever reviewing these trades because it's just so many trades. Usually I don't trade this much, but the market, right out of the gates, SIDU ripping up right at 7 a.m. As soon as I sat down, I saw this breaking out, and I for some reason I just feel uncomfortable trading as soon as I sit down. I feel like it's a recipe for disaster because I wasn't, looking at the stock, stalking it, reading the order flow, getting a couple trades in to feel it out. Once it started breaking out, I hesitated. I didn't trade any of this leg. It moved 20%. And this could have been a great opportunity to get up on the day, early in the day, and have a nice cushion. But something spooked me about this breakout. I just wasn't ready to start trading as soon as I sat down. And so that's how it is. I remember sometimes, I think I was trading GameStop. I tried doing that. I sat down at 7 a.m., ready to trade. The first, literally just popped up at 7 a.m., took a trade, an immediate, $80, $100 loss. And it just, put me out of my good headspace. I don't know. I like to start on a good fresh foot. I don't like to, sit down and immediately, be on it. So that's why I kind of missed this first front side. But then I tried kind of going for a backside trade, but kind of shook myself out there. It pulled back a little bit too hard for my liking, so that's why I was closing kind of early. I thought I was going to start going backside, but it did consolidate Here I thought we were going to break out of this 94, run up to 7, but not yet. Took that off for about a scratch. And then again, I missed this beautiful move. It's unfortunate, you know. If I would have traded this, who knows where my P&L would be? You know, would it be higher than it is now, or would I have, you know, been a little bit more passive if I traded that? You know, being up maybe 250, 300 on the day, pre-market, you know, maybe I would be more passive, looking to protect that profit. So I never really know if this was a good thing or a bad thing that I missed this. But you know, looking at it now, it's like, damn, 25%. I could have been up like way past my daily goal really early in the morning. Then SIDU, I took this resumption here for a potential breakout. For the breakout of 864. As it resumed, it opened at the price level, maybe a little bit lower, and so I hesitated to buy because I thought it would flush, but it just bounced right up, started buying at 840s, and then selling up in the 50s and the 60s, having a nice profit there. And here again, you know, kind of just scalping off the low here. I didn't really think it would rip up into a halt here, so that's why I kind of took my profits a little bit early. Here again, started curling back up into the 9, so I thought we'd break out of 891, which we did. I started, you know, adding, looking for that breakout, and kind of just scalping the dips. And if it opened up on me, then I would be adding to my position. But, you know, we never really held that level, so I didn't get too aggressive on it. None of these moves I was really able to size in too much. BIVK was another one. I was actually trying to size into this. Right as the news dropped, I saw it running right into the $3 level on high volume, and I looked over at the news, and it said like a $1 million deal with something, and it just said oil. I just saw oil, so I just bought 1,000 shares, and it popped up through $3, and I got a nice 10 cents. And I held 250 for, you know, a little bit, see if it will, you know, continue up to 350. But it did fail on me there on that last portion. But, you know, as a quick $100, that was a little bit risky if you ask me, but I did see the volume coming in, running right into the resistance level, and that resistance level had a block of sellers. I saw it getting chipped away real quick, so I just jumped on it, added with the buyers, and sold immediately as it popped, and it popped like 20, 30 cents. So, and then also here I went for a dip after the breakout of the VWAP, thinking we'd see some decent continuation. I thought, you know, this could have potential to run through the high, but it didn't. It just kept kind of rolling over. Here I took a sizable loss on it, maybe about $50 loss. I was really wanted to see a rip through 3, but it didn't happen. And look at this candle. This is disgusting. Like, if I was watching this, I would have definitely got caught in that. I would have added on this candle, and then would have got dumped on there for a nice 50-cent loss. That's crazy. That's a 14% dump in 1 minute. So thank God I wasn't in that. So that's VIVK. Let's look at Acor again. You know, looking for, well, I got a breakout at this level here for a very small share size, 500 shares on a penny stock. Then here again, got that breakout as that red to green kind of fueled some volume coming in to the high. This took my starter, you know, and then as volume is increasing, showing confirmation, I'm adding into my position below the resistance level. And then as it breaks the resistance level, I'm taking my profits, holding a portion if it does bring some continuation. And so that's what I did there. Made some profits on that, only about $20. Then we have, we'll go to ADN. I traded this one a lot. You can't go through all of these. This is going to take too much time. Y'all are probably going to get bored. I don't even know if anyone's even watching at this point. It's already a 14-minute video. So here I kind of got faked out, looking for that breakout, and then it curled back up, showing support, high volume, coming into the break of $2, and then the high of 202, adding for, you know, the break of 1,500 shares, taking it off, quick 5 cents there, looking for, a dip and then a rip through the next high, which is 207 or 208. So I start buying at 206.8 or 2.068, selling, quick couple cents there, kind of just scalping as it's going up. I should have really held this position, but I didn't really think, it would just keep kind of just curling up like that. I thought we'd see, pull back to 9 EMA and then, a little bit of a 1 minute bull flag, but it just kind of just kept going up. And so, I was not able to really size into a big position because I was just immediately, trying to buy. And then as it popped up into that new high, taking my profits and then, a dip down for a micro pullback, I would add my position as it's breaking the next high and then taking my profits. So that's what I did there. And then here I got a panic dip buy at 238. A little bit early, it's a little bit still off the 9 EMA, so not a perfect dip, still kind of risky. But I did take 2 cents on there. And then, we kissed this 9 EMA. Volume came in, broke this previous, candle. So it's a bullish engulfing. I thought we would run through 2.7. But this candle came in pretty weak. And, I don't want to be holding the bag. I only want to hold it if it's strong. This candle does not show strength. And so that's why, I sold. I was willing to get back in if this got bought back up and then made, kept creeping higher. Then I would get back in. That's okay. I'm not worried about that. I'm not trying to get like the perfect entry and the perfect exit. But this candle is showing weakness. So I don't want to be holding during this candle. I only want to be holding when there's strength. I don't want to be holding if it's showing any weakness, especially off my starter size, because I only want to add to a position if it's proving confirmation. And this is not confirmation. Confirmation would be a next green candle, just as high as this volume as this one or higher and running into 270. Then I would be adding to my position because I'm like, okay, this is still strong. This is going. Volume's coming in. Buyers are interested. But it's still kind of consolidated and then reclaimed this 9 EMA. And so this is where I was like, all right, now we could probably get it. So I take my starter at 485, take half off at 250. Then I'm still holding 250 shares. Then I add back and the break of 260, got in at 264. So break over this pivot. Now I'm looking for 270. Here, I think this sell was way down there. So I guess I took this position off quite early and then I got back in at 64. Now I'm looking for 270. So I was in 500 shares and then I add on the break of, so I added at 266 for the break of 7, 500 shares. And then I added again, kind of a little bit high. So it was a little bit risky at 277. And then I took that all off at 277. So that last portion didn't get any profit, but I did walk away with, about 10 cents or 15 cents or so on 500 shares, and then 3 cents or 4 cents for over 1,000 shares there. And then kind of just scalping the range here. First 1 minute pullback is always good. I love this setup. Thinking, we'd see that next pop, or I can scalp, within this candle off the low. Here again, I added at 81 as it broke this candle, thinking we'd see that continuation. But as soon as I saw it kind of pulling back and not having strength to rip through, taking my small loss. I'm okay with taking small losses. That's no big deal. I know that move is going to come, and so like here, it kissed the 9 EMA, and I kind of waited a little bit. I actually got in at 295, and I was looking for a break of 3. And then I added at 299, but then I got shaken out there on this candle, but still holding half of my position, selling it at 3. And so that's that. And then at the open here, adding, so this candle dipped down. I saw, lots of support on the tape, green on the tape as it's coming down. So that shows me that buyers are thinking this is a bargain price. And so I jump on there, 1,000 shares, kind of scalping the range, quick, 1 cent there. Could have held longer, actually. Then I go in for the break of this 310. So as it broke 310, and I got in at 316 for 1,000 shares for the break of the high at 322. I waited patiently. As it broke 310, I waited patiently. I wanted to see this hold. I didn't want it to break through and then immediately flash down. So that's why whenever it breaks like a pivot point like this would be a pivot point. See this red line? If it breaks their pivot point, I'm patient and I want to see it hold first. I don't want to immediately buy as it breaks. Usually, stocks will break it and then like you'll see either if it's going to hold or if it's going to reverse real quick. So if it holds, I want to put in that starter position. So that's why I added 1,000 shares and I'm adding into the high. And I get a couple nice sells up here. And then I go for the dip buy, kind of just scalping this range. And then I got caught in this crazy ass thing. I was thinking we'd get, some continuation, but, I panicked. I sold. I had to sell this on around 329 or so for a small loss. And then here I went for a panic dip buy, break back over 3. A little bit risky, sort of, a panic buy, which is sometimes proves like a good entry. You could have got, 10 cents here. Got 4 cents on that. Here, thinking we'd see a breakout, seeing like a reverse head and shoulders there. Thought this would be the candle to initiate it, but this candle rejected. So nothing really much there. Then here, got a nice break of 310. Again, another $100 there, which is pretty nice. And then here, again, for the break volume coming in, and I'm looking for the break of this high, and I ride this puppy up. Up here, for, I was in, 2,000 shares, quite a big position, selling at the high 4s, so only a couple cents, but, bigger share size, so that added up as well. APDN was the stock that I made the most on. Here we had a nice dip and rip. We had a consolidation. So first I was looking for the break of this. I was playing for the break of that. So I added, starter position here, kind of taking some profits. And here I go for a dip, and then it rips up. I'm adding into 263 for the break of the high. Breaks the high, but it pulls back, and I get, a fill at 62 for only about 6 cents or so. So it's about quick $30. Then we go kind of scalping this range here. I'm kind of anticipating, a bounce here, and then a rip back up to 237. That's what I'm kind of trying to play for. In this candle, I was looking, buying highs, looking for, that move through 37. But it kind of pulls back a little bit more, showing some more, needs to consolidate a little more, so I sell. But it's all small size, you see, it's all small size. I'm not looking to be gunning it. So in a consolidation, I'm kind of trying to anticipate the breakout. And so that's why I'm in small size when I'm thinking that it's showing some strength that's going to break out. And then, as the breakout's starting to unfold and volume's coming in, then that's when I start going, full size. But for the starters, I'm okay with taking small losses. This is a $4 loss, this is a $3 loss, $2 loss. This is really nothing at the end of the day. And here, we dip down below, we reclaim pretty hard. I start adding pretty aggressively. This is very strong, this candle. High volume, 367, taking it off at 370. And then this runs up kind of without me there. And then I start adding on this pullback, thinking, see with that next leg up to 4. We never got it. And I actually took a $25 loss there. At that point, I was up. Off of this trade here, I was up $601. And this pullback here, I gave back 25. And that was it for ADN. I made over $400 on that stock. And here we got, I was looking for, some more continuation. Thought, would see a break at 370. Very small share size, but I did get caught somewhere. Oh, in this, it kind of flashed down here and I panic sold at 318. I didn't want to get another leg down for another dollar loss. Very small share size is kind of irrelevant. I think I was small red on this stock. Yeah, $26 loss. But, very sketchy. AERC was sketchy today. But I thought we'd see a breakthrough the high there, but we didn't. And we got STRR early in the day. This one here, I was buying off the 9 EMA, thinking we'd see that rally. Had some news, some contract news. I thought it would be a runner today, but went backside. So another $28 loss there. We went over VIVK, SIDU. Let's see, look at SIDU. Did we go over this? Yeah, we went over SIDU. And I guess the last one is, was it that one? CMRA. So let's go over CMRA. This one pre-market just ripped up out of nowhere after Sidu was consolidating. So all momentum traders are running to CMRA, starts going parabolic. And I just jump on this thing, at 321, and I ride this baby up to 358. I'm just like, you know what? It's going to break out. Volume's coming in. Sidu's consolidating, so the traders are, trying to find something else to trade. I think they're coming to CMRA, so I just buy in for the break of this level here. The break of that level there. So we had a huge kind of backside on this day after this run up, then came back up, kind of consolidating, holding the high there. So it's just good. So shorts, looking are pretty, about to shit their pants as this candle is ripping up into this high of day at 434. As it breaks, right before it breaks 34, I take my starter, and this thing flies. I didn't even get the whole move, but 450s, that's good, but I still missed another 50, 60 cents. I got 30 cents on it, and I was in small size. I didn't have a chance to size up. Kind of just went flying, and I don't like to just blindly just buy just parabolic moves to the upside in one candle. I like to wait for some sort of pullback, maybe a micro pullback, 1 minute pullback, and so that's why I was only in 200 shares, and I missed. You still got 30 cents, 35 cents, which is like 10%. That's still the 10% profit, and it still went another 15% without me. So that's just how crazy this market can be. Then here I went for some continuation, but as it broke the high and then pulled back and it didn't really get that next 20, 30 cent pop, I took my scratch trade there. Then here I tried getting off the VWAP here. However, I was a little early. I was at 478, which is my mistake. And then it never really bounces. I averaged down and it just never comes through. And I ended up taking a loss there, unfortunately. Yeah, I gave back like $100. So I made $80 or so on this here, and then I gave back 100 there. So I was a little bit tight because I wasn't in full size here when I should have been, if I got aggressive enough. And so then when it like made that huge move, I was like, all right, let's go. Let's size in. I'm a little bit tight because I didn't make that profit that I could have, but if it's going to go up more, I want to be ready. And so I go in like bigger size here, trying to kind of scale into a position, and it just never really does anything here. And this is just not good. This big 30-cent rip, $1 rip, $1.20 rip. I was only able to make $80, and then I lose 100 on the backside. That's never good trading. You always want to be bigger size on the front side and smaller size on the backside, or kind of anticipating it. When I'm anticipating a dip as it's coming down, I'm still on small size. But if it pops up on higher volume, then I'm looking to add on my bigger size. But if I'm still not sure if it's going to be a backside move, I'm still only 250 shares. But if I see like a huge green candle go back up to 5, I'm a little bit patient, and then I'm looking for that continuation through 540, and then that's when I'm starting doing 500 shares or 1,000 shares. But anticipating the pullback, as it's kind of pulling back, I'm still kind of not getting. I don't want to get full size yet, because you can always have that next red candle down, and then you're underwater, and then now you're trying to average down, and then you're in a too big of a position, and then all it takes is one more red candle down, and you're like halfway near max loss. And I've done that so many times. I've done this so many times where I was like buying at 492, thinking, would see that next pop, which, here is actually the indication here, this pop over this level and then a rejection is the sign that you should not be buying this 1 minute pullback. You should be a little bit more patient because it's showing, lots of sellers up here. So but before, inexperienced me, I would be buying here. Oh, it's just a 1 minute pullback. It's on a front side. And then you get that next leg down and perfect entry. Let's average down. Let's get a good average here. And it's going to come back up, bounce off the VWAP. And then in this candle, I'm like, oh crap. Like now I'm in so big that I'm going to have to stop out for a loss. And then at that point, I'm down 8-10%. And that's just never good. So that's why I'm patient on these pullbacks. But that's it. I think that's it on CMRA. Yep, that's CMRA. So that's it. Finishing the day. Wow, this video is already 31 minutes long. $574.60. So still 1 day left in the week. However, weekly, I'm doing very well, but I will show my weekly profits tomorrow after the trading day, because you never really know what's going to happen tomorrow. It could have a 200, 300 red day, could have another 500 green day. So I don't want to get too excited, and I don't want to get too excited about like a big week, because the week's not over yet. Anything can happen. And so that's important to be when you're a trader, is just like being level-headed, not getting too confident, not getting too excited. Especially after a big day. A lot of the times for me, after a big day, I will end up having a huge red day the next day. It's a lot of times where like I would have my biggest ever green day, and then the next day I have my biggest ever red day. It's happened like time after time again, and the trick is just to manage your confidence. I'm okay with a $100 red day tomorrow. I'm okay with a $100 green day tomorrow. I'm okay with, if the market's hot again, I'm okay with another $500 green day. So, I just kind of have to take it as it comes. I cannot expect another $500 green day tomorrow, because the market is going to be different, and I have to trade the market. I cannot trade my P&L. I cannot expect another big green day tomorrow, because if I do and I start trading aggressively and the market's not there, I will be in a crap load of FOMO and trouble and probably end up the day massively red. And so as a trader, you just got to manage your confidence. When you're doing well, you can really be like feeling like you're on top of the world, but when you're like losing a lot, you can also feel like you're way down, down in the dumps. And so you have to be able to kind of reel yourself in from being overconfident and being like ecstatic and elated, and kind of reel in your confidence, be more patient, not get too aggressive, maybe even size down your shares. And then also when you're low, you got to pick yourself back up. You got to give yourself that confidence boost. You got to like talk yourself up. You got to start getting a little bit more aggressive, because maybe you're too passive. And you're missing moves, and you're not taking the setups that are there for you and that you have traded before in the past, and they're happening still, but you're not taking them because you're too passive, or you're just taking too many losses to where it just destroys your confidence and you have no confidence. So you just got to, maintain that balance. Sometimes that means picking yourself up after, a big red day or a losing streak. And sometimes that means reeling yourself in after a couple big green days. Because the market is not always going to be the same. After a stretch of cold market, or you're doing real bad, you always have to remind yourself the market is going to turn. It's not always going to be like this. The market's going to cool off again. And also when it's cold, when the market is cold, you have to remind yourself that it's not always going to be like this. The market's going to warm up again. The market's going to warm up again. I have to be ready for the next warm market, the next hot market. Yeah, it's important not to get too fixated on what's happening now, because stuff is always changing in the market, and you have to be ahead of the curve. You have to be anticipating, the day where, after a huge hot streak, that first day that's cold, I already know that everyone is going to be taking losses. I look at recaps and like everybody's red. That's like that first cold day after a hot market. And you have to be anticipating that so that doesn't happen. You have to be able to reel yourself in and start the day off on like, you know, questioning, you know, being in a state of um, curiosity of how the market is. You know, it's not. Is it the same as the day before? Is it the same as last week? Is it going to be hot? Maybe I should only dabble in 100 shares for right now, or you know, size down to 25% of your share size. Kind of get a feel for that market instead of, you know, expecting it's going to be a huge day and then starting your day off. You know, your first trade, you're in max size, and it just doesn't work out for you because you have no idea what the market has in store for the day. And so that's just kind of like my tip at the end of this video. If anyone's still watching this, holy crap, you are the man or you are the woman. 35-minute, almost a 36-minute video. If you're watching this, you are definitely dedicated to trading, and I know you are going to make it. It's a long road, but totally worth it. Coming from me, I'm just turning the corner and just starting to size up. And damn, it feels great. So I hope some of this, you know, success comes to you. You know, push harder, study. Don't worry about the money early on. If you're in still the learning process, just focus on getting consistent, developing your strategy. But that's it. You know, I could go on forever, but I don't want to make it too long a video. This is by far the longest freaking video I've ever made. So let's wrap it up here. Finishing the day up, $574. We'll be back tomorrow. And that's it. All right. Peace. Also, if you're still watching here, please hit that like button. Also, subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber. I'd love to have you come back for future videos. So consider subscribing. All right. Peace.